A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. The very first one related to West Bengal. Center easy to blame. There is one important pattern here, to blame. Usually we say they are to be blamed. We use in the passive voice. You can also use this expression, to blame. Center Election Commission to blame. You can take it as to be blamed. Mamata says 110 dead in Bengal due to SIR. Mamata says the reporting verb is in present tense. Then you should recollect the rule. If the reporting verb is in present, present perfect or future, the tenses don't change to a corresponding past tense. And this goes with indirect speech. 110 dead in Bengal due to SIR, special intensive revision. Otherwise, nothing to learn. Coming to the second snippet, good morning, both of you. Battery manufacturing, incentive scheme struggles to meet targets. I guess it goes with electric vehicles, and I guess, I'm not quite sure, you have to read the article. Battery manufacturing incentive scheme. Usually the government gives incentives, provides, announces incentives related to that. Struggles to meet targets. Struggles to meet targets. Looks like there is a problem to meet the targets. It is about that. Coming to the next one. NREGA movement. Decentralized campaign against Rural Jobs Act. Decentralized campaign. Centralized, what is opposite? Decentralized. Campaign. You should think of words like campaign, canvas. But canvassing goes more with elections. Campaign goes with elections, other contexts also. Campaign against Rural Jobs Act. A new act against that, some sort of protest. And when it comes to the word protest, you have to think of all the related words. Procession, protest, placards, slogans, march, all these words. Coming to the next one. On the front line. On the front line means something at the forefront, in the limelight. Trial by the social media. Trial, you all know we have got so many times. Whenever you come across the word trial or trail, you should think of the other one. Trial goes with a quote, and you should think of words like plaintiff, the one who files a case, defendant, trial, hearing, witness, evidence, alibi, innocent, acquit, guilty, convict, verdict, judgment, all these words. Here, trial by the social media, not by the court, by the social media. Yes, trail, you leave something behind so that people can trace you. We use the word trail. Good, Vishnu. A harassment allegation ends in death, fueling public fury in Kerala. There is one important word, fury, harassment. This is a common word. Allegation, we have got many a time. Harass someone means what? Trouble someone, annoy someone, irritate someone. But usually it goes with trouble. And we have a typical combination in usage, not my personal opinion. Police harassment, harassment by the authority, harassment by the officials. These are the typical combinations we come across. Allegation, accusation. Say someone has done something wrong without any proof. We use words like allegation, accusation. And initially we accuse someone, after that we stop blaming that person. Then you should think of words like exonerate. Exonerate, an important word. Absolve, another important word. These words you should think of. Ends in death. You all, I'm sure many of you know this. In Kerala, a particular incident where an innocent person was targeted by a woman and he could not face the insult, he committed suicide. It deals with that particular news item. In death, fueling public fury in Kerala. Furious means what? Very angry. Fury, anger. Furious person means very angry. We have got a few times. Coming to the next one, you can make out yesterday's T20, India versus New Zealand. India won the match, you all know that. And who are the players who played extremely well? Sizzling chase. Surya Kumar, Kishan power India to victory. I think both of them scored 70 plus, and exceptionally, they played extremely well. It is about that sizzle, to shine. In this context, to play well. Coming to the main headline, PM makes double engine push. You have to read the article to understand what exactly it deals with. PM makes double engine push. In Tamil Nadu, Modi says people have resolved to uproot single family rule. There's one important word: uproot, remove, eliminate, eradicate, all these, annihilate, all these words you should think of. Victory, triumph, landslide victory, thumping majority, very good. In Kerala, Modi says LDF is denying the benefits of central government schemes. All the items go with political news. They come under political news. For those who are preparing for competitive exams, not important. Coming to the next one, NIA to probe Manipur killing case, says governor. Probing nature. We have got many a time. What is the meaning of probe? To investigate. And some people try to find out what is happening in others' lives. Then we say they have the probing nature. Probing nature is not good when it comes to someone's personal life. Coming to the next one, SC seeks status reports on bank fraud investigation against Anil Ambani Group. This is also in the limelight, against Anil Ambani Group, and some sort of allegations. They wanted the actual facts. Seek, to search for, to look for. You people are looking for a government job, you come under job seekers. Seeks status reports on bank fraud investigation against Anil Ambani Group. Coming to the next headline, US Armada headed towards the Gulf, says Trump over Iran. It looks like the US is going to attack Iran. Against that backdrop, this particular headline, US Armada headed towards, an important expression you have to keep in mind. Initially, in the past, I would tell students, focus on the words. I would talk about the phrases also, but I would not emphasize. But now I would like to emphasize, because if you take bank exams, sooner or later, SSC also, they may do the same thing. The standards have been going up. How do they raise the standards? Imagine closed test or fillers. They give a sentence with a blank and they give 5 words. You have to choose the appropriate word. And that was in the past. It is a thing of the past. But now they give a sentence with a blank. They give 5 phrases or 3 phrases. You have to choose which 2 phrases or which phrase goes with the blank. And for that, to deal with those questions, when you read the newspaper, you have to pick up important phrases, important expressions in English. Headed towards means go in a particular direction. I headed towards the south means I started going in the direction of the south. The Gulf, in this context, to be very precise, towards Iran. Reading between the lines, that's what it means. I guess that is the last headline. Now coming to the other snippets we have this side. Heavy rain, snow lash North India. Rescue works on. Heavy rain, snow, lash. Lash in this context means to attack, to happen. In this context, hit, to hit. You can say that also. But when you see the word snow, you should think of words like snow, freeze, frostbite, numb, and also blizzard, avalanche, glaciers. All these words have to pop up. We have got many a time. Coming to the next snippet, Union government urges states to diversify their fish basket. Urge, an important word. Simple word we say request. Formal English we say urge. It's a formal context, so the word urge has been used. SEBI accuses EY PwC executives of insider trading. See, we have got the word accuse, accuses, allegation, allege. Both mean the same in a way. Accuse someone of something. You have to read the article to understand. Russia demands Ukraine's Donbass before talks. This has been going on for a couple of years, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. When you talk about a conflict or some sort of discord, you should think of two idioms. One is apple of discord. Have you heard of this? Apple of discord. The other one, bone of contention. Bone of contention, cause of dispute, cause of conflict. India-EU trade agreement still in the works. When you see the word still, you should think of an important rule. Call for demand, yes. And still yet, still goes with affirmative and interrogative sentences, and yet goes with negative and negative interrogative sentences. That you should recollect. Yes, apple of discord, bone of contention. Very good. Sushant looks like a new student. That's all from the front page. Let us go to today's editorial. Suhat, I suppose. Yes. A bit difficult to make out. Anyhow, today's editorial is all about Anganwadi workers. An important editorial you may get as a passage, chances are there. But not too many words to learn, a few patterns are important. Let us see how it starts. Right to dignity, a right to something, a right to dignity. Dignity, an important word, I'm sure all of you know. And when it comes to dignity, you should think of, they have given as a passage, dignity of labor. Have you heard of this any time? In Western countries, they have this concept, dignity of labor. They don't look down upon some profession. They respect all the professions and they consider that dignity of labor. We have two expressions, division of labor, dignity of labor. Here it talks about someone's dignity. Whose dignity? Right to dignity. Governments must ensure equitable pay for ASHA workers. There are two words here, rather three. Governments must. Must is used to express a personal obligation, also to convey the idea something is compulsory. Second word, ensure. Ensure means to make sure. Governments must make sure, must ensure. Both mean the same. Ensure what? Equitable pay. There is one important word here, equitable. Equitable means just, fair. F-A-I-R. Fair means what? Just. Just pay, fair pay, proper pay. Something that can be justified. For ASHA workers, ASHA is an acronym. What is an acronym? You take the first letters from different words, you form a word that is called an acronym. And when it comes to an acronym, we use capital letters. ASHA, ASHA. The ongoing protest by ASHA and Anganwadi workers in West Bengal demanding their wages be increased to 15,000 a month is a sour reminder of efforts to deny them permanent employee status despite their centrality to many national and state welfare schemes. Sometimes what happens, you come across lengthy sentences in the exam as well. BBC is an abbreviation, aspirant, and ASHA, acronym. When it comes to sentences, in English we have three types of sentences. Simple, compound, complex. Usually in the newspapers, in the exam, you come across complex sentences. What is a complex sentence? A sentence that has a main clause and one or more than one subordinate or dependent clauses. And you should know how to read a sentence, a lengthy sentence. Invariably, a lengthy sentence has a few phrases, a few clauses, and you should have the ability to identify the phrases and clauses. That is very important. And this is pretty, not a short sentence, a lengthy sentence. It starts here and ends here. What does it convey? The ongoing protests are going on. For that, what do we say? Ongoing agitation, ongoing protest, ongoing processions. Here it is like SOUR. So that is, I'm going to talk about that. Let me read. Ongoing protest by ASHA and Anganwadi workers in West Bengal. Why are they protesting? They are demanding something. What are they demanding? They want monthly payment of 15,000 rupees. Their wages be increased to 15,000 a month is a sour, an important word. SORE, I have a sore throat. SORE, sore means a painful. Sore throat, sore mouth, sore eyes, painful. And SOAR, soar, to fly high in the sky. But people mispronounce this one. It is not sour, it is sour. Means something like acidic. In this context, bitter, not acceptable. Sour reminder of efforts to deny them. They are being denied their rights. Based on that, it starts with right to dignity. To deny them permanent employee status despite their centrality. They are demanding permanent employee status, but they are being denied. And in spite of the fact they are central, they are crucial to many schemes. Despite, you have to be alert. Of course, many of you know, after despite, we should not use a preposition of. And in spite of should be written as three separate words. Despite, in spite of. Both have the same function. Contrast. Between the two, despite is a little more formal than in spite of. Their centrality to many national and state welfare schemes. In spite of that fact, they are being denied the permanent employee status. The Indira Gandhi government denied the first of many of these worker status under the Integrated Child Development Scheme ICDS, laying a foundation that India has continued to build on to bypass labor laws. It seems it started during the tenure of Indira Gandhi. Tenure, someone's period in power. During the tenure of Indira Gandhi, it all started bypassing the rules and denying these people what they deserve. The Indira Gandhi government denied the first of many of these worker status under Integrated Child Development Scheme, laying a foundation, very important. Lie, lay, laying. The word lie can be a noun, can be a regular verb, can be an irregular verb. He told a lie, here it is a noun. He lied yesterday, here it is a regular verb. He lay on the sofa yesterday, here it is an irregular verb. And we have another word, another verb. Lay, laid, laid, to put something down. And lay, laid goes with foundation stone, roads, rules, regulations, eggs, birds lay eggs. All these combinations are very important. You should have at your fingertips. Laying a foundation that India has continued to build on to bypass labor laws. They started bypassing the labor laws. Because of that, these people, they have been denied the rights or the wages they deserve. As a workload increased, the formation of a national union followed in 1989. Initially, not much of work. Later, the work increased, and based on that, usually when the workload increases, a lot of people are involved, unions come into existence. Union has come into existence. It came into existence in 1989, but even in the liberalization era, the state created the category of scheme workers and expanded social schemes but not permanent government jobs. They expanded the schemes, but they did not consider these people. They did not give these people, please excuse me. Sorry about that. They did not give these people the permanent employee status. The state of Karnataka versus Amir B 1996, a particular case, tribunal decision further excluded Anganwadi workers from the set of government employees, even as the top court expanded the right to food and thus the need for these workers in 2004. A particular case, that time also, they did not include Anganwadi workers, and these workers did not get the permanent employee status, but they got something from the top court, the right to food, and thus the need for these workers in 2004. The ASHA program took root in the mid 2000s. Take root in a way to someone establishes, then you can say take root, happen. Took root in the mid 2000s and followed a similar trajectory, an important word. We have got many a time. What is the meaning of trajectory? The path, the direction in this context, with the government framing them as activists. Worse, an important word. Bad, worse, worst. This, all the three forms you have to know. Here it is the comparative form. Worse, in the 2010s, when the government employers and workers unions recommended job regularization, minimum wages, and pension and gratuity for ASHA workers at the 45th Labour Conference, successive UPA and NDA governments chose not to implement this. It seems different entities, different stakeholders recommended something, but the governments did not implement. They chose not to implement. Here it talks about different organizations or stakeholders. Worse, in the 2010s, when the government, employers, and workers' unions recommended job regularization, giving the status, permanent status, minimum wages, and also pension and gratuity for ASHA workers at the 45th Labour Conference. In spite of that recommendation, successive UPA and NDA governments chose not to implement this. In 2015, the NDA government slashed the ICDS budget. Slash in this context to cut down. Initially, let us say 1,000 crores, and they brought it down to 500. Then we use the word slash. Slash the ICDS budget, and these workers have been protesting since. These workers have been protesting. Which tense is that? It is present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous tense. I have been teaching, you have been listening, you have been watching. Since at regular intervals just to make ends meet. All these phrases are very important. Make ends meet, an important idiom. To be able to survive, to earn something so that you can survive, you can't save. Trying to make both ends meet, an important expression you have to remember. Coming to the second part of the editorial, the center also froze its contribution to these workers' pay in 2018. Freeze, froze, frozen. Froze its contribution to these workers' pay in 2018. In effect, an important expression. Effect, we have got many a time, you all know. Affect is a verb. Effect can be a verb, can be a noun. Leaving ASHA and Anganwadi personnel to absorb fiscal shocks. Fiscal means financial. Absorb fiscal shocks. Another important expression you have to focus on. And coming to personnel, employees of an organization. Together with the lack of a guarantee of better working conditions for gig workers in the new labor codes, the state has effectively exited the social contract for many of its most vulnerable laborers in favor of promoting business metrics and more fiscal headroom at the center. I've done a few editorials related to gig economy. Recently, one of the competitive exams, when it come regarding essay writing, they gave the same thing. They wanted the candidates to write about gig economy. Do remember, gig economy is in the limelight. It will be in the limelight for another 4 or 5 years, and you should have the basic information, the lexical terms, the word combinations, related phrases and clauses, and definitely that will help in the exam in the long run. Coming to this particular sentence, together with the lack of a guarantee of better working conditions for gig workers. I've done a few editorials. Gig workers also not happy. They have been demanding. It started in Bangalore. They wanted the permanent employee status, and also they wanted certain incentives. They have been protesting. In the new labor codes, the state has effectively exit to go out, exited the social contract for many of its most vulnerable laborers in favor of something. In favor of what? Promoting business metrics and more fiscal headroom at the center. There's one word, headroom. In this context, it means space. Literal meaning of headroom, if you take a driver, the roof, imagine this is a roof, and the person's head is here. This space is called headroom. The space above the head of a person, usually a driver in a vehicle, that space is called headroom. Here, literally space, which unions have taken advantage of, but there is also considerable disparity between states. Take advantage of something. Usually that goes with a negative context. And here one more, disparity. Disparity means differences, something not fair, something not just. As central honoraria stagnated, an important word, this also, honorary, and H is silent, an honor, not a honor, H is silent, an honor, an honorary post. Here, honoraria stagnated. Stagnate means to get stuck. Usually it goes with water. Water got stagnated. But nowadays it goes with modern English, new combinations. It goes with economy, development, growth. Stagnated. States were compelled. Sometimes they say, I'm compelled to say this, means I'm forced to say this. States were forced, compelled to top up payments from their own budgets. They had to take something from their own budgets. Predictably, predict means guess. Wealthier states and those facing sustained union pressure have been able to offer more or additional benefits than fiscally constrained ones. Wealthier states, definitely they can do something for those who deserve, and the sentence expresses the same thing, have been able to offer. Present perfect active voice, have been able to offer more or additional benefits than fiscally constrained ones. Financially constrained. Constraint means a limitation. I have space constraint means what? Limitation regarding space. That's an important word. Nonetheless, you have to think of contrasting words like though, although, however, nonetheless. In a way, they all mean the same, but based on the context we use. Nonetheless means not considering. It is unconscionable that the practice of denying these workers their due still continues to be knowingly exploitative. Main idea is being reiterated. What they deserve, they are not getting, and it is not acceptable. Nevertheless, nonetheless, you should think of all these. Denying these workers their due means what they deserve still continues to be knowingly exploitative. Means they are still being exploited. That's what it means. The center must legally reclassify these volunteers as statutory employees. Statute means a written law. Statutory, legally binding, an important word. It is an idea or opinion of the writer. The center must legally reclassify these volunteers as statutory employees under the Code on Social Security, guaranteeing minimum wages and pension coverage. It's all about that. Permanent employee status, minimum wages, and pension and gratuity, they should be able to avail coverage. How does it end? The center and states must also bridge fiscal gaps. Another important expression you have to focus on: bridge the gap, close the gap, remove the gap. You have to think of all these patterns, must also bridge fiscal gaps to ensure equitable pay. Just, equitable means just, and also fair, FAIR, pay across regions. Only by institutionalizing these protections can India grant these essential workers their rightful dignity. The same idea is being reiterated. If the center and the states they implement all these, then it is like justifying and giving them what they deserve and giving them what they rightfully deserve. It ends on that note. That's all for today. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. And Monday, let us hope the regular pattern. Thank you very much.